Travel back in time with a trip inside the Iowa's News Now vault.
Hale is a town of no more than 60. The economy here is not booming, but people are still willing to share what they have with another town hundreds of miles from here. Around Thanksgiving, an envelope arrived here at the Hale Post Office, addressed to the principal of any school or teacher in Hale. Postmarked Stinnett, Kentucky. The letter was from a little boy with big dreams. He writes, "Dear unseen friends, I'm writing to see if you could help me. I am poor and live back in the mountains. Wonder if you have any winter clothes, shoes, household items such as pots and pans, quilts, blankets, dishes. We have a low income. We would be so thankful for anything you could do to help me and my family." It's signed, Stephen Hacker.
Do you have any idea why he sent it to Hale?
Nope. Well, see, we have reason to believe that he got Hale from his church. Which is apparently a little church in Stinnett, Kentucky.
Atkins believes the letter is on the up and up since he has talked by phone with the boy's teacher in Kentucky. She backs up Stephen's story, saying the whole mountain town is in desperate need of winter supplies. Already, boxes of clothing, food, and toys have been collected by the Olin School Student Council and the people of Hale. Enough not only for Stephen's family, but for many families. Now the town hopes someone with a truck will volunteer to take the goods to Kentucky. Little is known why Stephen Hacker chose this eastern Iowa town, but people say the young boy has helped them realize the true meaning of Christmas.
To him, to see his mom and dad have things that they haven't had, that they really do need, that's Christmas.
Beth Moore, 2 Action News, Jones County. In his letter, 8th grader Stephen Hacker asked for winter clothing, food, and household goods, saying his family had little money for Christmas. The people of Hale saw fit to answer his request and have come up with enough clothes and food to help out more than just Stephen's family. Last night I told you the only question was how to get the things from here to Stinnett, Kentucky. That's no longer a problem. Ron Hummer of Oxford heard last night's story and has offered to use one of his trucks to take the goods to Kentucky. Hummer, who would rather stay away from the publicity, wasn't too willing to go on camera, but says his gesture is only part of the Christmas spirit.
I thought it'd be a nice gesture, whatever, to take the stuff down to the people, meet the people, have the help meet the people. Somebody needed to do it, and I just thought it'd be something to do for Christmas.
His wasn't the only offer.
4 or 5 called and offered if this one didn't go through that they would.
And there's still room for more goods.
There's plenty of room. We've got all the room we want. We've had so many offers, I know that we can take anything they have to bring.
The truck will leave Hale Wednesday afternoon and arrive in Stinnett sometime Friday morning. I'll go along with Hummel's truck as it delivers the boxes of clothing and food. Beginning Monday, we'll give you a chance to meet Stephen Hacker and find out why he sent a plea for help to this small eastern Iowa town. I'm Beth Moore for Iowa Tonight. Stinnett is not really a full-fledged town, rather a community of what Southerners call hollows, or neighborhoods divided up according to families. There's a river that flows between these hollows, the Middle Fork. That's where you can find Stephen Hacker and his brother Dwayne fishing on a warm December day. Stephen is a quiet, bashful 8th grader who does the things that any 13-year-old would do. Try to snag a few fish, toss a football around with some friends. He's an average 13-year-old who did something a bit out of the ordinary. Stephen wrote a letter to Hale, Iowa, asking Iowans to help his family have a Christmas this year.
I figured they would help.
You mean it would make a better Christmas?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, maybe they would send us some presents, help us out with clothes for Christmas.
Otherwise you might not have other things for Christmas?
Yeah.
Stephen says he wrote similar letters to 4 or 5 eastern Iowa communities.
How did you ever decide to send the letter to Hale, Iowa?
I just figured it'd be a good place to send it to.
Stephen says he found the name written under a photograph in a magazine at school. He can't remember which magazine or what the magazine was about.
Do the people around here need this stuff?
Yeah, they could use it.
they could use it for Christmas?
Yeah,
Quite a few of the people?
yeah, whole lot of them.
Coal mining is the #1 industry here in Leslie County, but the demand for coal is down. Many of the coal mines have laid off hundreds of workers over the last few years.
We have some people who, like I stated, work in the coal mines, and those do make large salaries. And then the other people make out a living the best they know how.
Hoskins estimates that 60% of the students in Leslie County are from families that live below the poverty level. Only a mile or two outside of the county seat of Hayden, it's common to see the rundown shanties. But it's just as common to see the luxurious homes with new cars parked out front, swimming pools in the backyards, and satellite dishes dotting the countryside.
Outsiders get the idea that the mountain people are poverty-stricken and run-down homes. True, there are a few that way, but a lot of the outsiders have gotten the wrong impression. A lot of these people do have things, and it's not as bad as what some people say it is.
Stephen and his family live in this home up in the hills overlooking Hacker's Hollow. Inside, it's comfortable. Wanda Hacker works to keep her home spotless. This Christmas, there's an artificial tree in the living room, bought when Stephen's father was still working. Robert Hacker was laid off from his job in the coal mines about 3 years ago. Now he earns enough money to make his winter payments by hiking deep into the mountains and collecting the roots of the ginseng plant. The rare root is used in medicine and brings more than $160 a pound. Robert is also a self-proclaimed pastor at the Muncie Creek Holiness Church. Twice a week, 20 people attend services here. He built his church almost 10 years ago.
I got started when I was a boy. I lived up in Hacker Hollow there, and what I wanted to do all the time, a dream of having a church down there, see? And that's what I wanted all my life. So it ain't much, but it is a church where we can go and worship.
Stephen's mother, Wanda, sometimes babysits to help out with expenses. She says her garden and food stamps help keep food on the table.
It's hard. There ain't no jobs, and the ones that's got jobs hangs on to them.
Wanda was surprised to learn Stephen had written the letters to Iowa.
He wrote it on his own. He sure did. His writing and everything. It's the first time he's ever done anything like that. I don't know, ever since he's been about 2 years old, he's been a real good boy, and seemed like he ain't got a mind of a young and it's a grown-up, well, I could give him $100, and I'd trust him, with $100 just as soon as I would $2. He's that good.
The Hackers were surprised to find that Eastern Iowans sent not just a few boxes of gifts, but a whole truckload.
There's some people are saying that it ain't our stuff, it's Good Morgan's.
Tomorrow night at 10, I'll tell you how those presents almost caused a Christmas-time feud in Hacker's Hollow. I'm Beth Moore for Iowa Tonight. Stephen Hacker's letter caused a flurry of activity throughout eastern Iowa. The generosity began in the small town of Hale, where the townspeople began filling the post office with boxes of clothing, food, and toys. Word spread to Olin, Tiffin, Mount Vernon, and Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, I think 2 of you better grab. Yeah, it's really heavy.
By Wednesday afternoon, there weren't just a couple of boxes to be sent to Stinnett, Kentucky, but a whole truckload. The truck headed eastward to the foot of the Appalachian Mountains after leaving the rolling plains of Iowa Wednesday afternoon. Friday morning, 900 miles later, the Hacker family got word that the 18-wheeler was making its way up the winding dirt road leading to the Muncie Creek Holiness Church. A couple dozen people were waiting to greet the truck, but driver Danny Schrader was greeted not with Christmas cheer and happy hellos, but questions about who the stuff was for.
Are you Danny?
Yes, I am.
There's confusion about the stuff. There's some people are saying that it ain't our stuff, it's Good Morgan's and them people over that way. So, who's the stuff for?
I have some stuff on this trailer for you.
Stephen Hacker?
Yes, sir.
And well,
I was on an understanding to deliver this stuff here, and if you have room for it here, this is where we're going to deliver it.
The confusion started when some of the people said they had letters claiming the clothing and food was meant for them. Others believed the hackers would keep the goods for themselves.
No, you know, if it's not meant for me, I don't want it.
No, me either. That's where I was going. Oh, Lord, I don't make you mad for the world, you know.
Well, I know.
Once everyone saw the boxes and boxes of stuff, tensions melted away.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
This was sent from Hale, Iowa.
Okay,
Postmaster up there. For Stephen and his family. These 2 boxes, especially.
And with that, the unloading began. The army of volunteers stacked the clothing, food, toys, the stove, the TV sets, the mattresses in the tiny church.
This is a help to us. We had a little trouble, but it's still help. It's help to the community, the people, and everybody. It'll help everybody around here.
Were you surprised to see so much stuff?
Yeah, church is full outside.
Do you have anything, I guess, you want to say to the people back in Iowa?
Thank them. A bushel.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't know it would be this much, you know.
None of this will go to waste.
No, none of it won't go to waste. And I'll see to that.
Stephen's mother is inside the church, going through the stuff and picking out what is specifically labeled for Stephen and his family. Later in the day, Stephen's father will call the school and have it announced over the loudspeaker that anyone can come here to the church and help themselves to the goods.
Shoes.
Get that.
Boots. Real good. Can you find the match?
I'm going to go
Or find the match to it.
But perhaps sometime soon, these goods will find themselves on the selling block.
People are just writing off to get things to come in and sell.
Is this letter writing a racket? Tomorrow night at 10, I'll give you a look at what is going on in Stinnett, Kentucky. I'm Beth Moore for Iowa Tonight. This isn't the first truckload of clothes and food that has made its way to Stinnett, Kentucky, and Stephen Hacker's letter isn't the first of its kind to be sent to Iowa and many other states. The letter writing has been going on in the Stinnett area for years. Some people believe that hundreds of letters are sent out every Christmas. The pastor of a local church says this year's letter writing campaign may be bigger than ever.
This year's a bumper crop. Last year it was real thin, and we thought maybe this was going to cease. But I think the national situation, especially with Ethiopia getting on the television and all the money and everybody getting real excited about it, I think has increased intensity.
Some of the information in a few of the letters does tell the truth about a family's financial situation.
But a lot of it is false, and people are just writing off to get things to come in and sell.
You know, you write in and people don't know you. They may send you a tractor trailer load of stuff. There's people that'll take it, misuse it, sell it, or whatever.
Do you think that's happened, that it's been misused before?
No doubt it has.
A supervisor here at the Department for Human Resources, or the Welfare Office, wouldn't go on camera, but told me that every person with a low income or no income is getting assistance from his office. He says people who get assistance do not have a desperate need for the goods. The Hacker family does receive assistance from this office. Could you call this a scam?
Possibly. To a certain extent, maybe. For some.
Did you call this a scam, this letter writing?
Another fellow pastor here in the area got me onto the word, and I think it's a racket. I don't want to say the word suckers, okay? Just say those people there must be really good-hearted and must be sitting on a lot of stuff over there that you want to get rid of.
Pastor Campbell says often the letter writers will get the names of different towns from telephone directories.
And sometimes the envelope, this will blow your mind, the envelope is done in one bit of handwriting, but the letter is done in another bit of handwriting. And it's even done by school kids now, 13, 14 years old.
Last night we showed you the people who will receive the presents Eastern Iowans have sent. By Iowa standards, most of them are considered poor. For a handful of Kentuckians, it will mean having the clothes and food they may not have had. But for most, it is the culmination of another year's letter-writing campaign. And that means once the holiday season is past, the selling season will begin. According to Kentucky welfare officials, that is where the clothes and other items are likely to end up, at garage sales and yard sales around the area.